about gay marriage, basically, and what we think about the fact that in most states here you can't get married. Sarah's going to answer that one. Well, we are Canadian, so it's especially irritating for us because it is legal in Canada and everything's fine up there. It's okay, everybody's cool. So far, no one's marrying elk or bears. Nobody is going crazy. Gays have good and bad marriages and also buy furniture and a cat and then get broken up after a year or two. Like, we all abuse marriage. I mean, if you really think about what marriage really is, I mean, let's just be real. Easily, it's bullshit, and you should all really care. And straight people should care, gay people should care, people who don't care should care. Like, of course, absolutely. I think that's like, goes without saying, we care. But if you really ask me, and I'll just say this right now, like, I'm not even sure I really believe in marriage. So I just think that, like, if you're gonna get, I think it's, and the reason why I say this is that it's like, you know what, if the Kardashian lady wanted to get married and divorced within like 26 seconds, I mean, whatever, like, I don't care. Like, I'm not fighting for marriage because I think that you should get married and be in marriage for the rest of your life. If you're not fucking happy, the world would be a better place if we all just were in relationships that made us happy and we didn't stay in relationships that made us unhappy. Whether you're married or you're not married, or you're married because of money, or you're married because you love each other, or you're married because someone told you to. I just hope you're happy. And we should at least be able to all, I always say we should all have the right to get divorced. You know? Sometimes that really excites people, but not here. That's not, people in Texas are like, they're like, marriage is important. We do, we think that we're in it with you guys. Both of us are abstaining from marriage, even though we're technically allowed to get married because we want to be in solidarity with America, and so until you can get married, we're not going to. Which goes over, with our girlfriends. They're kind of like, that sounds like an excuse. On the aisle there, yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people have their opinions of like which bands you guys sound similar to, and I was wondering what bands you thought you guys sound similar to.
Okay, so the question is, there's along with polling of who your favorite Tegan or Sara is, there's also a lot of talk about what bands we sound like, and the question was, what bands do we think we sound like? Honestly, I think we have such original voices, which is a polite way of saying sometimes I think we're annoying, but in a good way. But like, you know, we're really like emotional sounding, and we're very like, you know, we kind of sing like that. I don't know, I don't really hear a lot of people sing like that. So, but I've been definitely in the last couple of years, like, you know, someone told me like, oh, you should listen to Santa Gold. It sounds like you guys. And I listened to it, and I was like, that doesn't sound like us, but I like it. And then someone was like, did you hear that Yeah song? It sounds like Tegan and Sara. And I listened to it. I was like, I don't hear it, but I like it. And then, so I don't know. I think when it's you, it's hard to tell. Like, we have a friend that looks just like Kate Blanchett. It's so weird. And we're always like, you look like Kate Blanchett. We've known her like 14 years. And every single time she's like, I don't see it. I don't see it. And that's how I feel about music. It's like when people compare us to things, like still to this day, people will be like, you sound just like Ani DeFranco. And I'm like, awesome, thank you. She's amazing. Ani. That's great. Like, I don't hear it, but I think that's, thank you. And like, you know, someone the other day compared us to the Bangles. And I hadn't listened to the Bangles in forever, so I went and like bought a couple records on iTunes, and I was like, this is great, oh my god. It does not sound like us. So, but I don't care. I mean, honestly, that's how we decide what something sounds like, is by comparing it to things, so I want people to keep doing it. Just keep doing it, and, you okay? Yeah, I don't know, I got flustered, I pulled my shirt out, and I want to tuck it back in. You take a question. Okay, next question. Okay, yeah. You next to the person waving, because I'm just going to ignore the person waving like that, because I favored the other people waving. Now she's punishing you. Yeah, I'm punishing you. You can go ahead, sure, why not? You stood up. Do it, yeah, do it.
I've been rehearsing this question in my head for like 6 hours. I hope I don't fuck it up. I noticed that you guys have been getting like more into filmmaking lately, and like you obviously were like starring in this last one. You produced it, so you guys have been like I guess like more into like the creative side of it. Do you see filmmaking like in the rest of your career? Like, do you see it as like part of your future?
Not really. I mean, I feel like we're really lucky. Like, we get to just like, you know, like we're kind of like goofballs, and we like to put videos up, and we like to do these side projects, you know, like the books or this DVD or whatever. Just because we want to like entertain you, and we can't put 70 records out a year. Like, there's sort of a process, and so we've looked for ways to express ourselves creatively through other mediums. And I look at myself up on the screen, and I am just filled with self-loathing, and I don't want to be. When I'm playing music, I don't feel filled with self-loathing. In fact, I feel excited and an intense. I like love it. You know, like it's like running, or for some people, I'm sure it's like going to the gym or whatever. It's like cathartic for me, and that was not watching that was like the opposite of being cathartic. It was sort of like somebody was punching me in the face. Oh, I know that was too far, but it's like I'm so stressed out. I could never. I don't think I would ever put my art and love into something that made me feel so bad about myself. Like I feel like that just is like.
Okay, but that was acting. I mean, like, what about
microscopic.
directing? Like, can you imagine writing something and someone directing it, or you directing it, or no? She doesn't want to do it.
I don't think so. I feel like this
Can't
is
get
like,
her to do it. Sorry.
No, it's so like I admire filmmakers so much. I love TV and film and all those things. I would feel like such a hack. Like it would just make me feel like I was doing it just like, you know, when sometimes famous people, they're like, you know, like whatever, they're like a tennis player, and then they're like, they come out with their own fashion line, and you're like, oh really, now you're into fashion.